No questions, no doubts about it?
None.
Why would we believe a word out of your mouth? You've been lying to us from day one.
Hi.
Listen, if you're here to pitch a case for Ethan Lovett, I will pass, okay?
I know that you're ticked that I'm okay with him being our brother.
Or not. You know, it seems that Holly's been lying about everything.
Well, I would like it if she and Dad were his parents. I like Ethan. I think it would be nice for Dad to have one kid who was
Going to die. Our emotions were all over the place. We were clinging on to life the only way that we could. And am I describing this accurately?
Tell it your way, English.
When we managed to escape, Luke went back to Laura and Lucky in South America, and I wished him well. And then later I found out I was pregnant, which was quite unexpected, to say the least.
Why didn't you track me down? Why didn't you tell me?
I couldn't have done that to you and Laura. You were married, and you had a child.
And you didn't want to be a mother.
It wouldn't have been fair to you, Ethan. I was back working cons with my family, and I didn't want you to grow up the way that I had. I knew that eventually you would have grown up and started asking questions, and I would have been tempted to tell you about Luke, and maybe even gone after him. I worried about it for weeks, for months. And then, after you were born, I made the only choice that I could. Was to put you up for adoption.
So basically, you couldn't wait to get rid of me.
Giving you up was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. After you were born, I held you in my arms, and I felt the most overwhelming love. But I told myself that I had to let you go because I couldn't keep you with me, drag you around from place to place. I knew that if I really cared about you, that I had to let you be with a family that loved you and protected you. And eventually I just picked up my life where I'd left off, and I went back to running scams and making money.
But I've seen you since this boy was born, and you never said a word. You never so much as threw me a bone.
I didn't know what had happened to our son. But after I had seen you, I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I went back and I started digging, and I found out that his adoptive parents had both died when he was 15, and now he was an orphan.
So you thought I was going to be all alone and vulnerable. It's the perfect time to drop in and take advantage of me.
No. No, I wanted to know that you had grown up, loved and cared for.
Don't worry about that. My parents were wonderful. But that doesn't excuse what you did.
I didn't have a choice.
I don't mean giving me up. I mean the lies you've told since you found me.
I have no excuse for my lies. I can only tell you what was going through my mind at the time.
Finish your story. I want to hear this. You tracked Ethan down.
And I found him working at the resort. And I knew the moment that I saw you. You were such a wonderful combination of Luke and me. Tall and lanky like your father and dark like me, and yet with a style and a charm all of your own. I couldn't take my eyes off you.
You're good.
I'm telling you the truth, Ethan. All the emotions that I felt when I held you as a baby came flooding back. And yet at the same time, I was so reminded of Luke, the way you were working the bar, you were chatting up the customers, and you were so easy and personable. And I knew then and there that Luke should have a chance to know you.
Why didn't you just tell the kid all this? Why didn't you tell me this? Why all these games? Why did you do this to us?
I didn't know how you would react. So I set the wheels in motion, and I gave you the photograph, and I left it to chance. And if you were meant to connect, then you would.
And we did.
could have years ago. This is not just your son, Holly. This is my son. And your plan gave us no choice in the deal. You kept him away from me and me away from him his whole life. And now you just want to come in and you suddenly want him to know me. Why? Why all these games?
I don't know. I just wanted more.